Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott.
and together we're Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yeah, and we are talking about again, this is just kind of a weird topic to me that they're doing a test about aging and diseases. And I mean, that's normally when it all happens anyway, right? Normally.
Yeah, you break down at a certain age. Yeah, things start
Yeah,
breaking down.
things start happening either because you don't take care of yourself or you just can't take care of yourself. But anyway, let's talk about it.
Scientists say aging may expose decades of hidden damage, helping trigger diseases that seem to appear out of nowhere in later life. Well, that just like we just said, man, stuff starts falling apart. Like I think at age 50, stuff started falling apart.
Everything becomes an ordeal.
Yeah. A recent review published in Aging US on December 30th, 2025, explores a fresh way of understanding why aging is so closely linked to chronic disease. Would you like to know more?
Okay, in the paper, aging as a factorial disorder with two stages, quite a name. Researchers David Gems and Alexander Carver of the University College London, along with Yawen Zhao of Queen Mary University of London, propose a new model that explains how aging contributes to diseases later in life. Drawing from evolutionary biology and other areas of research, they suggest that aging results from a combination of damage accumulated earlier in life and genetic processes that become harmful as people grow older. According to the authors, this interaction may help explain why conditions such as cancer, arthritis, and certain infections become more common with age.
Yeah, I think lots of people have arthritis. Aging is considered the strongest risk factor for most chronic illnesses, yet scientists still debate exactly why growing older increases disease risk. To address this question, the researchers introduced a two-stage framework.
Okay, the first stage occurs earlier in life and involves events such as infections, injuries, and genetic mutations. While the body is often able to repair or control much of this damage, some of it remains. Over time, these lingering effects can persist beneath the surface without causing immediate illness. So yeah, I mean, as you grow older, right? You don't normally. I'm not saying everybody. Not everybody can be a Jack LaLanne. You just don't start take care of yourself. Yeah, things do not become important. Cleanliness or just stuff in general, and I think that all contributes to the fact that if you don't take out the garbage is going to take over. So
garbage is going to take you out.
Yeah. So
all right, the second stage begins later in life. During this period, biological processes that once served useful functions start producing unintended consequences. These age-related changes reduce the body's ability to keep earlier damage under control. As a result, previously contained problems can progress and eventually contribute to disease. The review argues that aging is not driven by a single cause. Instead, it is a multifactorial process involving many interacting factors.
Okay, under the proposed model, early life damage and later life genetic activity combine to increase the likelihood of age-related disease. The authors point to several examples. Dormant viruses that remain inactive for years can reactivate when immune defenses weaken in older age, leading to illnesses such as shingles. Okay, I've never had shingles. Have you ever had shingles?
My old neighbor, and you know who he is. He had shingles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm just going to throw this out there, and I'm sure I will be corrected. Shingles is a adult version of
smallpox.
Smallpox.
Yes.
Smallpox. Okay.
But I think if you've had this, well, no, I think you're right. Exactly right.
Yeah. So if you have had smallpox, you still have that whatever gene or whatever floating around in your body, and it can resurface as shingles. And from what I understand, I've never had it, like we just said, or like I just said, but people that have had it have said that it was a lot worse than having smallpox. So joint injuries sustained earlier in life may contribute to osteoarthritis, which we talked about pretty recently, decades later as aging tissues become less resilient. Otherwise, inherited genetic mutations can remain silent for many years before eventually playing a role in diseases including cancer and fibrosis.
I lost my place. There we go. Yeah, I got it. The researchers based their model in part on established ideas from evolutionary biology. One key concept is that natural selection becomes less effective later in life, allowing biological processes that are harmless or beneficial earlier on to have negative effects as people age.
The review also draws on studies of the roundworm, oh boy, Canorhabditis elegans, whatever the heck that is. In these animals, early mechanical damage can eventually lead to fatal infection in old age. The authors suggest that comparable patterns may occur in humans, where damage accumulated over time can interact with age-related biological changes to promote disease.
Overall, the review offers a new perspective on how aging and disease become linked over the course of a lifetime. By highlighting the combined roles of early life damage and late life genetic activity, the two-stage model provides a framework for understanding why many diseases emerge in older age. The authors say this approach could help guide future efforts aimed at disease prevention, targeted interventions, and healthy aging. So I wonder if I broke my arm, does that contribute to something later in life?
Well, you have complained, or not complained, you stated that you have arthritis.
Yeah, in my knee and my ankles.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I've got it in my hands and my fingers and stuff. My mom had it really bad. Yeah. I don't know if it's genetic, but I think it has to do with things that you've done and maybe not taken care of, or just abused your body, like professional athletes that have, basketball players that their knees are shot. Or I remember watching Joe Namath on talk shows after his football career was over. And for those of you, Joe Namath was a kind of a flamboyant, not flamboyant, probably he was a really popular football player back in the 60s and 70s.
He was flamboyant.
New York Jets. And he got beat up. Those guys back then in those days. I mean, if you look at football reels then versus now, the hits may be harder now, but they're a lot more protected by rules and stuff. They didn't have a lot of rules back there. It was like just game on. And so their bodies got thrashed. And I don't think they did a lot for it, other than cortisone shots or whatever. So
getting in the bathtub.
Yeah, it comes back to bite you, I mean, I know guys that are my age, and I'm no perfect specimen by any means, but I know guys that are my age that I went to school with that abused their body, and then not abused it, but just played sports and contact sports and a lot of stuff. And they're paying for it. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to see.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short, Scott. You're not chopped liver. Don't sell yourself short.
Really?
You're a specimen.
Yeah, right. Anyway, it's all good, but yeah, I just, again, what do you do? This is what we all have to look forward to as we get old. So
yeah, I don't know. This research didn't say, cause and effect. It was just like a general,
Yeah. And it's like looking into a crystal ball, right? This is what's going to happen. So, oh boy, let's have a party. We're all going to fall apart by the time we start 70, 80, 90 years old, when, I don't know, quality of life. That's what it's all about, right? Everybody wants to grow old, but then what good does growing old when you can't get out of bed in the morning or whatever? So, but anyway, good story.
All right, folks, we'll see you in the afternoon.
Take care, everyone. try to have a good day after the story.